Once upon a time, in a kingdom, there was a prince named William. Because the prince did not agree to marry the witch's niece, the witch used magic to lock him in an iron box. After casting a curse on William to make him forget who would rescue him, the witch left. Many years passed and still there was no one to free him. One day, a princess named Carol from a different kingdom went to a walk in the forest, but she got lost because she was too attracted to the beautiful scenery in the forest. Carol had been wandering in the forest for 9 days without knowing the way out. She did not know that she was approaching an iron box. In the confusion, she suddenly heard a voice.
Where are you from, and where do you want to go next?
Carol was startled. Then looking around, she saw an iron box.
I got lost in the forest, and now I don't know the way home.
I will show you the way back home, but you must promise to do everything I say. I am the prince of a big kingdom. I want to marry you and live with you forever.
I don't know how to live with a box.
However, she really wanted to return home, so she accepted to do everything the iron box requested.
Follow this butterfly. It will lead you home.
Then, from inside of the box, out flew a butterfly. Carol followed the butterfly and it led her out of the forest, right to the front of her father's palace.
Yay! I'm home now.
After that, the butterfly flew high and went back to the forest. The king was deeply moved when Carol returned to the palace.
Dear father, I got lost in the forest. Fortunately, I met an iron box. It was the one to lead me home. I also promised to go back there to free the iron box and marry it.
Hearing that, the king was very shocked because Carol was his only child. The princess was also very sad about her fate. The king immediately discussed this and sought out someone to replace the princess. The miller's daughter was the chosen one. The next morning, she went to the iron box with a knife to replace the princess. Even though she had been stabbing the iron box for 24 hours, the box still remained the same, unbroken. When the sun just dawned, there was a voice from the inside of the iron box.
I think the sky is turning bright again.
Maybe I just heard the sound of the running windmill.
Oh, so you're the miller's daughter. You can go right now and ask the princess to come here.
The miller's daughter went back and told the king that the iron box didn't like her and just wanted the princess. Hearing that, the king became scared and the princess could just complain about her fate. In the palace, there was another pretty girl who was even more beautiful than the girl in the milling family. It was the daughter of the family who raises pigs. The king next told her to replace the princess.
Come on, call the girl in the pig-raising family here.
The next day, the girl in the pig-raising family came to the iron box's place. She stabbed her knife into the iron box for 24 hours, and the box still remained unchanged without any damage. In the early morning, a voice came from the iron box.
I think the sky is turning bright again.
Maybe I just heard the sound of my father's horn.
Ah, you are the girl who raises pigs. You can go away and ask the princess to come here. And tell the princess that if she does not keep her promise, her palace will collapse and everything will be broken.
The girl who raised pigs immediately went back and reported to the king and the princess what the iron box had said. Hearing that, the princess was really depressed. But since there were no other choice, the princess had to bring a chisel to go to the forest. When she arrived, the princess started chiseling, and after 2 hours, the princess wore a small hole. Looking into that hole, under the sparkling light of gold and diamonds, the princess saw a tiny person. Her heart suddenly fluttered. She continued chiseling non-stop until the hole became bigger. A man walked outside. It was Prince William, who was locked in the iron box by the witch.
You were the one to rescue me. You are my fiancé. Come back with me to the castle.
But I want to go back to say goodbye to my father first. He must be looking forward to seeing me back.
Okay, go back and say goodbye to your father, but only say 3 sentences and come back right away.
Thanks, darling.
However, when she got home, because she was too involved in the conversation with her father, she forgot what William had said. Waiting for a time for her to return, Prince William was slowly possessed by the witch's curse. Prince William forgot the princess and he tried to find his way home. Soon he went through the glass mountains, the waving river, and finally arrived at his magnificent castle. It was not until midnight that the princess remembered William's words. Carol hurriedly said goodbye to her father and returned to the forest. But when she arrived, the iron box as well as the prince were not there anymore. She kept walking for 9 days with a hungry stomach and decided to climb up a tree and sit there. The sky was really dark and she was sitting there with the fear of being eaten by wild beasts. She could only sit and pray for the morning to come as soon as possible. Suddenly, she saw a little bright light from a distance afar.
Hopefully I can escape.
She climbed down the tree and followed the direction of the fire. And then, she saw a tiny house.
How can I get inside the house?
She moved closer to the window and looked inside. There was a table full of special food and a little fairy was cooking. It was the fairy Sophia. She held her breath and knocked on the door.
Where's the plum girl? Please hurry up. Come to the door. See who that is.
A fairy with a plump body shape ran out to open the door. It was the fairy Aurora. Fairy Aurora smiled and looked at the princess, then used her wand to make the princess a tiny girl. Princess Carol sat on the table with the two fairies. Fairy Sophia asked the princess,
Where are you from, girl? And where are you going?
The princess told them the whole story and how she broke the promise with William. She said she would search everywhere until she could see him again.
Aurora, please go to the room and bring the box out here.
Fairy Aurora ran into the room to get the box. Miss Sophia took 2 plowshares, 1 chopsticks, and 3 chestnuts out from the box.
Princess, please remember to bring these 2 plowshares and chopsticks. When you go to the glass mountain and the river, use those things as your friend. If you pass, you would meet your lover again. These 3 chestnuts should be used when you are in trouble. With the prince's curse, only sincere love can resolve it. The princess happily took the things from Fairy Sophia and excitedly thanked the 2 fairies. Early the next morning, Princess Carol said goodbye to the 2 little fairies and set out. Thanks to the gifts from the fairies, Carol could pass the glass mountains and the river easily. Right on the riverbank stood a big palace. She asked for a job as a maid there because she knew that her lover was the prince of this castle. However, the prince was cursed to forget his lover, so after he returned to the palace, he was always sad and could not be happy. He told people to spread a message throughout the whole kingdom to say that he would marry the girl who rescued him from the witch's iron box. There was a girl who came and claimed that she was the one who rescued him, and she could explain everything that had happened. William was only rescued to forget the face of his lover, but he still remembered everything that had happened. The prince was very surprised because everything she told him was right. Her name was Bella. When I came back to say goodbye to my father, I met a wild beast on the way, so I became late. When I came back, you had already forgotten me and left.
However, on the engagement day, he did not feel very happy. Little did he know that Bella was the niece of the witch. Carol was very sad because she couldn't prove that she had rescued him. The princess took a chestnut out and intended to eat it. But as soon as the chestnut split, a beautiful wedding dress appeared. Having heard that the maid had a beautiful wedding dress, Bella immediately came over to look and said she wanted to buy it.
I can't sell this wedding dress, but if you let me sleep in the prince's room for 1 night, I will give it to you.
Bella did not agree at first, but by looking at that beautiful wedding dress on Carol's hands, Bella nodded in agreement.
Okay, I agree with you.
However, before letting Carol in, Bella secretly mixed sleeping powder into the prince's cup of wine. The prince finished drinking and slept deeply. Carol entered the prince's room, but the prince was so sound asleep that she was unable to wake him.
I rescued you from the iron box. I had to pass the glass mountain, 3 blades, and crossed a large river to find you. Now I am here with you, but you don't listen to anything I say.
One of Bella's servants, who was standing outside, overheard this, so the next morning she went to tell her master. The next evening, Carol bit the second chestnut. When the chestnut broke, a gorgeous wedding dress appeared. Bella really wanted to buy it, but Carol did not sell it. She just asked to sleep in the prince's room again. Bella agreed to this. Before letting Carol in, Bella let the prince drink the wine with sleeping powder inside. By the time Carol entered the room, the prince was sleeping deeply. She sat next to his bed and sighed.
I rescued you from the iron box. I had to pass the glass mountain, 3 blades, and crossed a large river to find you. Now I am here with you, but you don't listen to anything I say.
Bella's servant standing outside overheard this too, and the next morning she told her master. The next evening, Carol bit the last chestnut. A stunning wedding dress, which was even more beautiful than the other 2, appeared. Bella wanted to buy it, but Carol did not sell it. She just asked to sleep in the prince's room for the last time. Bella immediately agreed. This time, Bella continued to let the prince drink the cup of wine with sleeping powder. William found it very strange that in the last 2 days, after drinking the wine that Bella had given to him, he always fell asleep. So while drinking the wine this time, William let the water run out. William pretended to sleep deeply. After making sure that the prince was asleep, Bella contentedly went out. Carol came in and sat beside the prince.
I rescued you from the iron box. I had to pass the glass mountain, 3 blades, crossed a large river to find you. Now,
while Carol was speaking, William immediately sat up.
You were the one to rescue me from the iron box. You are definitely my true love.
The prince immediately asked people to put Bella in jail for fraud. And the witch was caught by 2 fairies and locked in a jar. The prince and princess got married and lived happily ever after. The princess arranged her father to live with them, and they ruled both kingdoms.